It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
We're live here for Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings, and just simply news and rumors, what's going around here for our beloved Detroit Lions. And we got a lot to cover in today's show. We'll get into some Q&A here in about halfway through the show, because why not? That's what we want to do. We want to have fun, have a good time. That's what it's all about. What's up, Doe Chrome, Taylor Janella, Lisa DeLorenzo, Mike Reed, all in the building right now. And I appreciate everybody coming in for today. And look, last night, right now, my thing's going crazy. And I may have to turn my phone off. I'm getting hit up like 50 times right now while I'm talking to you, so I'm going to turn my phone off right now. 1 second here. But the Philadelphia Eagles took a big O L last night. Took a big O L last night. And look, with the Eagles losing, we didn't clinch a playoff spot because Seattle won. With that said, now the Lions control their own destiny to at least the number 2 seed. If the Lions win out, we will be the number 2 seed because we face, obviously, the Vikings on Sunday, then the Dallas Cowboys right after that, and Vikings after that. So if the Lions win out, no matter what happens with the rest of the teams, the Lions are sitting at number 2. Now, if the San Francisco 49ers lose 2 out of 3 games and the Lions win out, Lions get the number 1 seed. I don't think that's really possible. I give that a minute, extremely low chance. But they do got 2 teams that are fighting really, really hard. And that is the Baltimore Ravens they got to face on Sunday. And then the last game, they got to face the Rams, who are trying to make the playoffs. So, and with so many teams so close, like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Detroit Lions, and the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to be playing every game. They're not going to be taking time off because they have to win out to, well, not win out, but at least make sure that they're top of their for the number 1 seed. So they're going to want to play. The 49ers are a good team, and they're going to want to make sure that they get that in there. Super interesting game last night. Just super game. Because either way, the Lions kind of get a little bit of a victory here, right? If the Seattle loses, the Lions are in the playoffs. If Seattle wins, the Lions have a chance at the number 2 seed. There we go. So that's what occurred. And Lions are sitting pretty right now. I got to tell you what, after watching the Philadelphia Eagles, they're in a 3-game losing streak. Lions can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have to come to Detroit. I honestly think that the Lions should be favored in that game. I think they should be. They should be favored if the Philadelphia have to come to the Detroit Lions. The Lions match them on offense. They do. They got DeAndre Swift. We got Jahmyr Gibbs. They got wide receivers. We got wide receivers. They got an offensive line. We got an offensive line. Jalen Hurts is not playing too particularly well. Lions, if you give Jared Goff any sort of offensive line, he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Defensively, their defense is cheeks. It's not doing good. I know they got a ton of names over there in Philadelphia. Lions may have a little bit better of a defense the way it's playing right now. So the Detroit Lions, I think, match up well with the Philadelphia Eagles. And we get to find out in 2 weeks if the Lions can take on the Dallas Cowboys. They can. They can definitely. We'll find out if they can beat them. Can they beat them? They can. I still got Dallas. Dallas at home they're undefeated right now. And they're a complete different team. They go on the road, they're booty cheeks, they're at home, they're undefeated. So, but look, the Lions can match up well with them. They can. I still think that Dallas probably, and I'll predict the Lions loss in that game just because it's at Dallas. They're a really different football team there. But the Lions have a shot. It's not on the realm of possibility. But before we get into those games, got to face the Minnesota Vikings. And Nick Mullins will be the starting quarterback right now. He put up 300 yards last week, but he also had 2 interceptions. He's not Kirk Cousins, and he's not as mobile, obviously, as Joshua Dobbs. And that's the take I like. When you look at Nick Mullins, he's not Justin Fields, okay? He's kind of like mobile, maybe a Baker Mayfield. We can handle that. Joshua Dobbs running every other play, that would be an issue for the Lions' defense with mobile quarterbacks. Points per game, Minnesota Vikings are putting up 20.7. That's 21st in the NFL. I think the Lions can get over 20 points, and that's their average. Total yards per game, they're 11th in the NFL, 347.4. They're pretty good offensively. Passing yards, 248.8, 7th in the NFL. They're still good passing. Rushing, they're not that great. They're only putting up 115. That's 23rd in the NFL. And their booty cheeks and turnovers at -6, 25th in the NFL. Their offense is good. Obviously, you got Jefferson. He's good. Addison. He's good. TJ Hawkinson. He's good. They got it, the 6th best offensive line in the NFL per PFF. Good offensive line. Their offense will be a test for the Lions defense. It's going to be a good offense. I think it's a better offense than Denver Broncos for sure. But the Lions did make moves with Futu Melifonwu and Vildor for the secondary. So we'll see how they match up. It's going to be intriguing, but it's a pretty good offense. Defense, they're a good defense as well. Points per game, they only allow 19.2. I do have the Lions getting more than that, 7th in the NFL. Total yards per game, 316. That's 13th in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 224. 17th in the NFL. Rushing yards per game, there's 92 and 5th in the NFL. So they're good run defense. They're the 5th best run defense in the NFL. The Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery are going to have a little tough task in this game. And why is that? Danielle Hunter, amazing player. They got a good defensive line. 15.5 sacks. Wanham, 8 sacks. Harrison Smith, their safety, 3 sacks, but he's decent in coverage. Harrison Phillips, 3 sacks. And Ivan Pace, 2.5 sacks. They got a good team over there. I do think the Lions are better. But remember, we're traveling to Minnesota. The Lions are going to be playing for winning the division. Minnesota Vikings are playing for to stay in the playoffs. The Lions got to get this win. We have to get this win on Saturday. 1 p.m. game. We got to get this win. It is time for the Lions to win the NFC North. It is time. Hasn't happened yet in the NFC North. It's been 30 years since we won a division. The Lions got to go to Minnesota and win. Do you guys got the Detroit Lions winning this game? Put L if you think the Lions are going to win. Put V if you think the Vikings are going to win. Do score prediction as well. We'll do that at the before I go to Q&A here in a little bit. We'll talk what I think the Detroit Lions are going to do in this game. And you got Chrome. He says L. Raw Detroit, the pessimist. He says L. 9 drinks. L. So right now, everyone's got the Lions winning. Robert Bruce, L. Lions winning. James Janella, L. Lions winning. Bruce F. L. Lions winning. Why do you keep saying Saturday? I thought the game is on Saturday. Is it on Sunday? Maybe I mixed it up. Let me see. Schedule here. Detroit Lions schedule. Did I say? Oh, oops. It's Sunday. Saturday is the Dallas game. Sorry. Sunday at 1 p.m. Saturday is for the Cowboys game. So just mixed up right there. 28-14 Lions by Jonathan Atton. Kurt Kasprick, L. So right now has got the Detroit Lions winning. Lions team doesn't travel well. Play on the road. We do travel well. We do play on the road well. And it's in a dome. So it's not like it's outside. It is in a dome. And you know the Lions fans are going to travel well. I bet you 50% of is going to be at least Lions fans there. They've been doing it all year. Minnesota ain't that far away to clinch a playoff game. Best believe Lions fans are going to be there. They're going to want to celebrate. They're going to want to celebrate. Lions must win the game. Agree with you, Raw. We must win the game. Sunday's games are better. And I need a break on Saturday. I'd like to not do anything on Saturday. Denver they played well too against Denver to lose to Minnesota. 100%. We played out of our mind. Look, if the Lions play like this, like they did against the Denver Broncos, they can win anybody. But again, the Vikings defensive line is really good. This is going to be a tough task for Detroit. Danielle Hunter, who we all wanted to get in a trade, has 15.5 sacks on the season. Warren 8 sacks. These guys are getting after it. So Lions got to be able to get some plays in there, maybe some quick passes, screens to reduce Jared Goff getting hit. We got to make sure that defensive line is not killing Jared Goff. The Sunday's game is at 1 p.m. The Dallas game is at 8:15 p.m. on a Saturday. Hopefully CD plays. We're tasting blood. I don't think he's going to play. He's not brought up yet. The adjustments made in the defense with personnel scheme, huge improvement, especially with Iffy and Vildor. Vildor and Iffy has made this defensive secondary better. Just removing Tracy Walker, who the Lions may cut after this season. They may have to cut this season. That could save some money too right there. Because he's just not playing well. He wasn't playing well. The Lions benched him, put in Futu Malfanu. Jerry Jacobs not playing well. Vildor comes in, much better job. And we do got CJ Gardner-Johnson or CD Deuce, whatever his name is, to come in at some point. I don't think he plays in this upcoming game. I don't think he's been activated for the 21-day window to practice yet. I just know he's been cleared. So that's something that we got to wait on for sure. For sure. But the Lions defensive line they can stop Nick Mullins. Okay. Nick Mullins is not Patrick Mahomes. Nick Mullins is not Justin Fields with mobile. The Lions should get some turnovers in this game. He threw 2 picks last week. The Lions could get some turnovers in this game, and I fully expect this defense to get some turnovers. They got to do it in this game. You're going against a quarterback who's, I don't even know what legit string he is, but he's not Kirk Cousins. He's a backup quarterback. Lions need to get to him. They need to get to him. We do have a healthy offensive line, and that's a major positive for the Lions in this game. And hopefully they stay healthy throughout the rest. We got 3 games left and into the playoffs. The Lions' offensive line is healthy. They can dominate anybody. This offense is predicated on the offensive line. I've been saying it forever, and it is. The offensive line is healthy. The offense is dominant. If they're not healthy, the offense is mid. This offensive line needs to stay healthy. 100%. Does AG continue to bring the heat, or does he dial it back again? And that's a question, because right now the Lions blitzes have not been getting home. They haven't. So maybe you should kind of sit back a little bit on this one, because right now we're the worst blitzing defense in the NFL of getting to the quarterback, and it hasn't really worked out so well, and I'm not sure why, but it just hasn't. I think the Lions defensive line can get it done. You got Isaiah Buggs, Bruce Irving coming in there, obviously Aiden Hutchinson, whoever else they have in the defensive line. I think we should try it that way, because I don't want to get picked apart. They got 2 good receivers there. The Lions need to they need to double up Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in football. And it's not just him, man. They got a plethora of weapons on offense. They truly do. And that's the scary part about this team. They got Jordan Addison, really good. KJ Osborne, a number 3, good. Brandon Powell, a number 4, good. And TJ Hawkinson, their tight end. And they got for PFF, the 6th best offensive line. They got weapons, folks. So the Lions need to have a good game in this thing. They got to get to Nick Mullins. That's really it. Look, if you can get to him early, get him disrupted, he's going to throw off, and he's not going to get the ball to those very good receivers. Very good receivers. They're more aggressive. I expect to be coming after Goff. Yeah, they're extremely aggressive. They blitz the most on any defense. They're number one team that blitzes right now. So the Lions' offensive line, I think they can handle the blitz. I think they can. That's going to be intriguing too, because if Goff starts to carve them up in the blitz, will they step back a little bit? Because the Lions got weapons too. Our offense, I mean, all you got to do, you want to blitz? Okay, we're going to do a screen pass. We'll dump it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, we'll dump it. We'll do a quick pass to Jameson Williams. We'll do a quick pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown. We can really negate the blitz. We have plays that can negate the blitz. So this is going to be a fun matchup to watch, Ben Johnson versus their and how they handle the blitz, because you're right, they blitz the most in the NFL, and the Lions can do it. Lions had 22 pressures versus Denver, but 2 sacks. They need to improve the pressure to sack ratio. It's 100%. 100%. I love it when people try to say, you need to pronounce the way I want it to pronounce. No, I say it the way I want to say it. We got to get better with sacking the quarterback, and that's 100%. 100%. And if they don't, we're gonna still have problems. We got to sack the quarterback. But again, when we look at Mullins, he's not a mobile guy. He's got a little bit of legs against, kind of like a Baker Mayfield, but he's not some Justin Fields. He's not a Jalen Hurts. He's not a guy that is going to just freaking get out of everything. I think if we can get our hands on him, we can sack him. We can sack him. Lions rookies had 5 touchdowns against Denver. Is this the best rookie class in the last 20 years? For the amount of players, yeah. I mean, like you look at some of the rookies that we've had throughout history, like Ndamukong Suh is really good his first year. But when you look at the amount of players that we got that is contributing, very well could be. I mean, these guys are playing at a high level. Brian Branch, high level. Sam Laporta, elite tight end right now. Not even just Pro Bowl, I'm saying elite tight end. Jack Campbell's coming into his own. Jahmyr Gibbs, probably one of the best running backs in football right now. He may be the best running back in football right now. So, yeah. He says, just a G. Well, Tafko, here's the deal. A lot of people try to tell you what to do on streams, and they try to dictate, and I don't play that game. So it gets old when people try to tell you what to do. So if you're joking, cool, but it does get old. Do you think that Brad will spend money on edge rusher this season? Love to see Danielle Hunter in the Lions uniform. Man, I would love it too. I would absolutely love it too. I think they are going to spend money on an edge rusher. He knows. He's got to know. They have to know that is the weakness is pass rush. So get one. It could be Josh Allen from Jacksonville, Danielle Hunter. There's pass rushers out there you can go in the draft and double up to. You have to get better on the defensive line. Look, Charles Harris, he ain't coming back next year. Romeo Okwara ain't coming back. Julian Okwara ain't coming back. That's 3 players that's not going to be back. So that means they're going to have to fill the gap. And Bruce Irvin, he ain't coming back either, right? He's a stopgap right now. So you have players that are not coming back. The Lions are going to have to fill those needs. You can get one in free agency. You can a high-priced free agent, a top-end edge, not a dollar store player. Then you can get another guy in the draft and maybe get another one later in the draft or a cheaper deal for free agency. But they need pass rush. Vikings defense predicated making the quarterback get rid of the ball fast, which plays into the position of where their players are. It's strategically smart by Brian Flores. Brian Flores is really good defensive coordinator. Their defense sucked last year. Now they're one of the better defenses in the NFL. And yes, they blitz. You're 100% correct. It's about getting to the quarterback. Our offensive line has got to do the job on Sunday. Mike, the Vikings are going to be looking for a quick pass. Cincinnati had success, 100%. That's exactly where I was coming from, throwing the ball down the field and run north-south. That's exactly what we're going to do. Look, if you're going to blitz 60% of the time, I'm going to just dump it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. I'll do that every single time. At some point, you're going to stop blitzing because Jahmyr Gibbs is going to keep carving you up. So that's what the Lions will do. At least that's what I think they're going to do if they're going to blitz all the time. Just do some quick passes. These receivers and playmakers make plays. We got the momentum on our side. Forget next year. Time is now. Yeah, look, I ain't worried about next year. Right now, we're 10-4. We have an opportunity if we went out to be the number 2 seed, and we can beat any team at Ford Field. Any team that comes to Ford Field, we have a chance to beat. And that's the bottom line, is the truth. We can lose to any team, but we can beat any team. If the Lions play fundamental football, not turning the ball over, lack of flags, Lions can win. Lions can win. Look, they're dominant offensively. If you do those two things offensively, and the Lions got the best running back duo in the NFL, you can beat anybody. When I look at Philadelphia, our offensive line, I could be better than their offensive line. Our running backs are better than their running back. We match up well with them. Their receivers, they got great receivers. So do we. Jalen Hurts is not playing that great as of late. He's still a good quarterback. We can match up with them. We can. We can match up with Dallas. They got a great offensive line. Dak Prescott's playing really good. They got great receivers. They got some good running backs. We do too in the offense. We match up well. Defensively, all 3 of the teams struggled throughout the season. Dallas, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Right now, Detroit's last 2 games has been better defensively than I think the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. We're trending right now up. That's the way you want to trend, is up. They're trending down. Philadelphia's lost 3. Dallas just got smoked, even though they're really good at home. But if we get the number 2 seed, and these teams got to come to Detroit, the Lions can beat them. San Francisco, that's different. I think they're on a different level than everybody else, but it's any given Sunday. Do you think that we let off the gas versus Green Bay and the Bears? We don't want them to get high draft picks. No, we did not let off the gas. We wanted to win. Absolutely not. We did not let off the gas at all. Without a doubt, Brad Holmes provided the Lions coaching staff with enough talent to compete for a Super Bowl. Yes, we do. We have the talent right now. Will we do it? I don't know, but I'm saying we do. You're right. We can beat anybody on any given Sunday, and we can lose to anybody on any given Sunday. It just all depends to me on the offensive line. Well, offensive line has got the starters. We can beat anybody. Lions could end up with 2 home playoff games. 100% we could. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to Dallas too. It's hard. AT&T Center. Yeah, look, I have the Dallas winning that game just by looking at it right now. Would you be shocked if the Lions won it? No. The odds are is they'll win it, but would you be shocked? No. Yes, we do. It's a slim chance at the number 1. 49ers are the number 1 seed. They have 3 games left. All they got to do is win 2 out of the 3, and they're the number 1 seed. They got to face the Rams, the Ravens, and the Commanders. So 2 of those games, maybe I still think they probably just went out. They're just so good. I'm going to the Dallas game. Bought 6 tickets early. Awesome. We've been missing the dagger time from our defensive scheme. We executed it perfectly Saturday. Yes, we got to do that again in Minnesota. Jalen Carter may be a good player, but look at Philly's defense. It's not that good. The Lions are much better off with Gibbs and Laporta. I've been saying this, man. Like, everybody get mad. I'm like, dude, Gibbs, you're even seeing Mike Valenti say, okay, it was the right pick. Okay? We drafted Gibbs. Everybody got upset about it, and I'm like, man, he's explosive. What are we seeing? Do you think that we're 10-4 if we don't have Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't think so. Jahmyr Gibbs has been so important to this offense. It has opened everything up because you have to cover Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's just beating everybody right now. Okay? And same with Sam Laporta. If we don't have those 2 guys, we're not 10-4. The Niners only have a clear advantage. It's one big getting consistent pressure. Yeah, they do. And they got a good defense, and their offense is just unstoppable. It has just been unstoppable. Is Patterson injured? I don't know why, but I don't know if he's injured or if it's just it's one of those deals where they feel like since he missed a couple extra points, that Badgley's the guy. We also keep in mind that it's a very young team, prone to inconsistency, 100%. It's a young team, and you're going to have inconsistencies like that, and that's absolute facts. That's why I don't get mad if a player like Jan Campbell has a bad game and then he bounces with the good game, right? That's what the rookies do. A lot of injuries could happen between now and the playoffs, completely change the team. Hoping we stay healthy and we could very well win a Super Bowl. Wishful thinking, maybe I don't care. You know how they always said that the AFCS is the best, or AFC is the best division? I don't think so. I think it's the NFC is the best division. You got the San Francisco 49ers, 11 wins. Dallas, Detroit, Philadelphia, 10 wins. Look at the AFC. They got the Baltimore Ravens, and then the other teams like Kansas City, they have holes on that team, right? You look at Jacksonville, they got holes on that team. Miami, they got holes on that team. I think the NFC is the better division, and who wins the NFC probably wins the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Injuries make a big deal. Gibbs is the highest average run distance. I know, 10 yards a carry. Holy God, that's nuts. And it's David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs both nearly have 1,000 yards rushing. That's nuts. Remember years we're waiting just to have one running back to get 1,000 yards? And we got two running backs that potentially can get it. It's nuts, man. Been watching Dallas and Philly. I don't think they can beat us. Lions can beat anybody. Yeah, Philly is on a downward trend, man. They're looking worse each game. They're looking worse each game. They are. Their defense is playing bad. I'm not even going to say it's a good defense. Their defense is playing bad, and their offense has been having issues all year long, and it still has not improved. It hasn't improved. Then you got Jalen Hurts. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. So, look, I think if I'm going to go with the best teams right now, I got San Francisco 1, Dallas number 2, Detroit 3, Philadelphia 4. If we go to Dallas, it's difficult to win there. Obviously, we got to face them in 2 weeks. But if Dallas had to come to Detroit, I could see the Lions winning that game. I would actually put Lions as a favorite to win that game. Right? That's what I got. It could be any given Sunday. But again, you could lose to any of those teams. It's not guaranteed. Who's saying the AFC is better? I don't agree with that at all. Yeah, a lot of people always saying the AFC is better, and I agree with you. I don't agree with it at all. I concur. Seahawks, he said, go Lions. Oh, look, the Seahawks, the Lions are, that's been our Achilles heel is the Seattle Seahawks, obviously. And look, Seattle right now, they're trying to make the playoffs. If the Lions got to face Seattle in a wild card game, I want the Lions to beat the crap out of them. I'm tired of losing to that team for sure. I don't want to face the Rams. I really don't want to face the Rams because I don't want to deal with the Stafford comeback. I don't want to deal with a miraculous Stafford play. I don't. That's the one team I don't want to face in the playoffs. I'm willing to face pretty much anybody in a wild card spot. Let me get these teams up here. We'll pull it up for you guys. NFC playoff standings. Playoffs standings. Get this thing going. I'll share it. Let me share. Present. Slides. No. Present. Share. Let's get this one here. All right. I'm going to remove your comment really quick. So, look, the Lions, in my opinion, can beat the Cowboys, can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be extremely tough for the 49ers. And I still have the Cowboys winning at their house, but look, we can win. Buccaneers, we already beat. I'd love to face the Buccaneers in the wild card round. Vikings, I think the Lions could beat them for sure in the playoffs, but do you want to play them 3 times in a month? I think that would just kind of be a boring game. Rams, I don't want to face them, man. I really, really don't want to face them. They're hot. You don't want to see Stafford do a Stafford comeback in Detroit. That would just be the worst. Seattle Seahawks, they have our number. Maybe we get a redemption there. I'd love to face the Saints, the Falcons, for sure. The Packers, look, it's going to be tough for them. They're 11th. So look, the teams, Buccaneers, Vikings, Seahawks, Saints, Falcons, I wouldn't mind playing. Let me know your thoughts here. Like, who would you like the Detroit Lions to face? But yeah, the NFC, in my opinion, is better than the AFC. It's just better. I mean, look, man, you got 11, 10-4, 10-4, 10-4. Then you got 11, 10, 9, 8. Then it's 9 and 8. So I think the NFC is just a better conference. Let's see. Rocked On had a simulator to show the standings possible win losses the next 3 weeks. That's cool for him. This is such a great change from years past. We are talking about playoff seeding instead of wondering how we can get in. The tide has turned. Comment of the day. Comment of the day. Isn't it just awesome? Ultra Combo! It's glorious that we're not talking about the NFL draft by week 4. We're talking about how can the Lions get a top seed in the playoffs. It's a great turn of events. Brad Holmes should be general manager of the year. Dan Campbell, in my opinion, will be head coach of the year. We have a great coaching staff. We have great people in the front office. Sheila Ford Hamp has done a great job. We have a competent team that runs this organization, unlike years past. You see other organizations that absolutely sucks booty cheeks, right? You're looking right now at the Carolina Panthers, terrible organization. You know, you're looking at the Los Angeles Chargers, terrible organization. All these organizations that are bad, and it's not the Detroit Lions. And it's great. It's great. We're usually talking about next year's draft this time, 100%. Week 4, I'm usually talking draft, folks. Guess what? We're going into week 16, and I don't even care about it. Don't even care. They got our number. No Stafford either. Yeah, they do got our number, and that's what that scares me. It does scare me, but I would rather face Seattle than some of other teams. But if I want to do it, man, I would love to face. I think the Vikings would be the easiest, right? They probably would be the easiest. They're right now in a downward slump. The Saints they'd be pretty easy. The Falcons would be easy, and the Buccaneers. Whoever doesn't win the South, I think, is probably what we would like to have. Right? So if we sit at the number 2 seed, we're going to be facing the 7th seed. Right now, we're the 3. Right now, as it sits, if we're 3, we face the Vikings. If we're 2, we would face the Rams. But I think the Rams are probably going to win out. I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams get 10 wins. And they end up being like the 6th seed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how it plays out. Lions have opportunities here to get it done. Thank you for the shout out to Sheila. She's turned. It doesn't happen without her 100%. Everybody in this front office, she made the decision to fire Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. She made the decision to hire Spielman, bring him in. They hired Brad Holmes. Remember, Brad Holmes didn't hire Dan Campbell. They hired Dan Campbell. That's slam dunk home runs. Like, you got a great general manager and a great head coach. You did it right. You fired the guys. You hired the right guys. She deserves mass credit. Mass credit. Yes, the Rams do face San Francisco the final week of the year. The final week of the year. But again, what if the 49ers got everything locked up? And that week, they've already got the number 1 seed locked up. Do you think that they kind of take it easy? It's very possible they take it easy. And that sucks. That's why we really need the Ravens to beat the 49ers. We need the Ravens to beat the 49ers in a big way. Because if the Ravens beat the 49ers, it makes that game That final game of the year, it's a must win for San Francisco because they're trying to get that number 1 seed. So it's tough. It's tough, but yeah, we want the Ravens to beat them. Please God, Lamar, have a game versus San Francisco 49ers. Win that game. Last night game is a reminder that you're playing a team that has to win. You better be ready. Seattle wanted it more than Philadelphia. Yeah, 100%. And remember, Geno Smith will be back. They will be back. And they've always they can win on the road too. That makes them that makes it difficult. That makes it difficult. So all these teams, like Rams are hot right now. Seattle, they can get hot. We know this. It's more we want to face the South. Bruce Irvin, Bugs, Iffy, CD Deuce, James Houston, Kindle, make this defense look different. We'll shut that run. Wolverine, great. You're right. You're right. Isaiah Bugs makes this defensive line different. He is like the unspoken hero. I have been watching this for a while now. When Isaiah Bugs is in there, defensive line gets after the quarterback. And of course, CD Deuce, CJ Gardner-Johnson, and everybody else. Like, if they come back, man, Lions defense can take that next step. I am waiting. Like, when does CJ Gardner-Johnson start that 21-day window? It should happen soon, right? Should happen any day. The Rams play Seattle, Giants, then the Niners. 3 easy wins. Yeah, they could be rest their starters. 100% I agree with you. That's why we need the Baltimore Ravens to win that game on this Sunday. That will make it to where they don't rest starters. Do Monty and Gibbs each get 1,000 yards rushing? Let's see how. I don't know exactly the amount they got. Let me get to it right now. Because before I said there's no way. That's not the case now. So let me get this up for you guys. Let's see. I know they're close. David Montgomery has 855 yards rushing. He will get it. 1,000 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs got 792. He'll get it. They'll get 1,000 yards. They will. Both are going to be 1,000-yard running backs. That's crazy. That's crazy. To have 2,000-yard rushers. We got 3 games to go. They're going to get it. Montgomery just needs 145 to go. Jahmyr Gibbs just needs 208. 3 games, they're going to get it. Because Ryan's going to run the football. They're going to get it. Jared Goff, 3,727 yards. He's going to get over 4,000 yards passing. This offense is nuts. If you have a quarterback puts up 4,000 yards and you have 2 running backs that put up 2,000 yards, holy God, that's a lot of offense. Yes, we do have the best running back duo in the league, period. There's not even a debate on that one. We have the best running back duo in the NFL. David Montgomery's averaging 5 yards a carry. Jahmyr Gibbs is averaging 10 yards a carry. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous. We had 2,000-yard receivers back when Calvin. Yep. Yeah. We did. And guess what? Who's already got 1,000 yards receiving? Amon-Ra, first down. Sam Laporta, he may break 1,000. Sam Laporta has got 758 receiving yards. He could break 1,000. And Amon-Ra St. Brown's already got 1,175. Nuts. Dragon, that's my point. They have a sucky back quarterback. Beat the Eagles. They wanted it more. They definitely wanted it more. Last time I remember that happened in San Francisco during the Montana era. We've already said that one. Let's see. And Drew Lock sucked. Drew Lock does suck. But remember, Geno will be back after this game, unless he gets injured again. Patricia's terrible. I was laughing when Drew Lock threw that touchdown pass. I laughed so hard because Matt Patricia is so terrible of a defensive mind. I feel bad for Darius Slay. Free the Slay. Just release him. Release Darius Slay after this year. You don't need to be around Matt Patricia. Patricia's trash. He's terrible. Good Lord, man. Seeing that dude again on the sideline. I kind of hope that Philadelphia's got to come to Detroit in the second playoff game. Lions host the first game, we win. I hope Philadelphia comes to Detroit because I want Jared Goff in this offense to absolutely dominate Matt Patricia in his trash defense. I want the Lions to smoke Matt Patricia. I'm still salty about what he did to this organization. I'm still salty. We were a respectable team until he came in the fold. He destroyed this franchise, traded away all our good players, was a terrible coach, terrible human being. I hope they have to come to Detroit. I want to smoke him, man. You know the crowd would rip him up like crazy. Oh, man, it would be glorious. If you had to go ride one, who would you ride, Gibbs or Laporta? Oh, man. That is a terrible question to ask. I'd flip a coin here. I mean, look, you got Jahmyr Gibbs right now. He running the football wins you games. You got I mean, they're all pro players, man. Both of them are all pro players. And it's crazy to get an all-pro player, 2 all-pro players in a draft. Man, I don't know. I'll go Gibbs, but it's a toss-up, and honestly, they're great. They're both great, and I don't want to take away from Laporta if I pick Gibbs or the other way around. I thought trading Hockenson was tragic, especially if the Lions made their run, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, except for TJ Hockenson's having a really good year. So that could affect the Lions in the last 2 weeks here. TJ Hockenson's almost got 1,000 yards receiving. So trading him away was fine, but hopefully it doesn't burn us in the last 2 weeks here because we have to face him. Lions, who will be the most impactful this past season, Brian Branch or Kirby Joseph? Or impactful this past season? Oh, that's Brian Branch. Well, by far. Brian Branch is playing really good as a rookie. We haven't heard a whole lot about Kirby Joseph. He hasn't done a lot of impact there. He hasn't really done a whole lot of anything, but I'll go Brian Branch. I think the Rams getting 10 wins is very likely, especially San Francisco locks up. Yeah, I do too. And that's why that the 49ers need to lose this game. Didn't Slade just have a season-ending surgery? Yeah, but he's still on the team. They need to release him after this year. Let's see. Yeah, but Hawk is subpar as a blocker. That's true, but he still gets first downs for him. I mean, I'm fine with the trade. I like I said, I was okay with it. Everybody felt like they're jumping off a cliff. I'm like, a second round pick. I'm fine with it, but he has put up some yards, so I just don't want it to get burned on Sunday. He has a green dot as a rookie. Yes, it's crazy how good our rookie class is. It's absolutely crazy. Guess what? Hendon Hooker is about to be on the 53-man roster. That's our number 3 quarterback. So our quarterback room is fantastic. So if we're to have an injury, and if we don't want that to happen, we got competent quarterbacks. I was having an argument with a Vikings fan last week. He said, the only reason you guys is winning is because we lost Kirk Cousins. I said, no. They said, we're lucky that Kirk Cousins went down. I said, no. I said, your organization is dumb for not getting a good backup quarterback. Our organization went and got Teddy Bridgewater and drafted Hendon Hooker. Y'all could have done something like that. You didn't do it. You decided to wait on Kirk Cousins, and now you're in a world of hurt. Well, that's not us being lucky. That's your general manager, front office, not doing the right job. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks went down this year, and that's why we talk about the backup quarterback so important. Look at all these quarterbacks that went down through the NFL. You got to have a good backup, man. Look, we've been lucky, but I still like having a good backup quarterback. And we probably, from the depth wise, we have the best depth at the quarterback position. Not the best quarterback starting, but I mean, if you look at the depth, I mean, it's pretty damn good depth. So, like, I'm not worried about that position. And look, Teddy Bridgewater is going to retire after this year. Hendon Hooker being number 2. Don't have to worry about it. It's going to be a cheap quarterback, backup quarterback. It's going to be great. So this draft was amazing. The only one we're worried about right now is Broderick Martin. What's going on with this guy? But you're not going to get every pick right. If you turn around and get all pro players, 2 of the first 4 picks, I would say that is a slam dunk draft. Slam dunk draft. Jack Campbell is a great contributor. He's a starter. And Brian Branch, he can take games. He can just make games his own. So we've killed this draft. Absolutely killed this draft. And I don't want to hear, well, you should take a quarterback at the 12th pick. You should take a wide receiver, or you should take a running back at the 12th pick. Knock it off. We got an all-pro player. Would you rather have an all-pro Jahmyr Gibbs or just a good defensive player? I'll take the all-pro player. I want blue-chip dogs. I don't want just good players. The draft, especially early, you got to get dogs, werewolves, blue chippers to make a difference. Jahmyr Gibbs is a difference maker. He's an absolute difference maker. Okay, he is an elite running back. He may be the best running back in football right now. Okay, that's how good he is. Sam Laporta is an elite tight end. He is going to be in the all-pro team. He's going to be all-rookie team. He's going to make the Pro Bowl. 2 elite players. And I wasn't high on getting a tight end. But if the way he's playing now, you have no choice, but that's a great draft pick. I mean, you just got an elite player. Elite. I'll take elite over a good. Say we have an abundant of players at the running back position like we did, but we got an elite player. I will take that elite player over getting a good defensive player, at a player of need. I want dogs in elite. And we did that. And we did. And we and Brian Branch is a dog. He's a dog. Is he at the elite status right now? No, but he plays at like it sometimes. So I'm like, good. Like, it was a great draft. Great draft. Are they trading Jared Goff this offseason? I've been hearing, no, they're not going to trade Jared Goff. They'll keep him on the roster. I don't understand why they would do that. Look, Jared Goff has got, I think it's 2 years left in his deal, or 1 year after this season. Why would you trade him away? No, but they'll keep him there. Let's see. We have to sign. Yes. Yeah, but remember, Jared Goff's not going to command. Look, he's. I don't even know if we re-sign him. That's the thing. We're not going to trade him away. Yeah, we do got to re-sign St. Brown. He'll get paid. McNeil will get paid. Jonah Jackson may get paid. That may not happen. The Jonah Jackson one may not happen, just FYI. Even though I love Joe. I want it to happen. I want Jonah Jackson here. I think from what I was last hearing is he wants to be the highest paid guard in football, and the Lions are looking at like a top 10 guard position payout. I can't pay Jonah Jackson as the number 1 guard in football, man. That's tough. That's tough on these streets. It would be nice for Witherspoon. Well, yeah, Witherspoon was good. But you get one Witherspoon to a Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. No, I'll take both them over Witherspoon. And Witherspoon's awesome. He may be the best defensive player in the whole draft. He is playing at a really high level. But you got 2 elite players for 1. I'll take 2 over 1. Yeah, we definitely need dogs, James. Yeah. And look, this offseason, in this draft, they're going to get some dogs. You want dogs? They're going to get it. They're going to build that defensive line up, and they're going to get that secondary stout. So best believe they got dogs out there for sure. Yeah, he was the best time for Slay to get surgery when he became the guy. Yeah, they need just get out of there, Slay. Do everything you can to get out of that organization after this year. To keep the core together, each of these players is going to have to take less top dollar. I think Goff understands that. Supporting Cassie's not nearly as good. If the Lions extend him, we cannot give this dude $50 million. I like him, but $50 million, it's going to make it to where you can't have this offensive line. Look, if the offensive line is not good, Jared Goff looks bad. We need to, if they want to extend him, we got to make sure that we have this offensive line and St. Brown in there, the weapons. And This not just goes for Jared Goff, by the way. This goes for any quarterback that's taken these contracts. This is why you like the rookie contract on a quarterback, because these guys, they take all the cap space and then you just can't put players around them. You can't. Wait till Brock Purdy's got to come up with a contract. Do you think they're going to have all the players that they got over there in San Francisco when that happens? Absolutely not. So look, if you want to continue to be having all these weapons offensively, you got to have to take a pay cut. You got to do it. And that goes for any quarterback. Trade Jared Goff. I don't think they trade him at all. I really, really don't. I don't think they trade him. I really don't. I think they let Hendon Hooker sit behind him another year, potentially, for sure. See, if Mosley was going to go down early, that probably would have drafted differently. Yeah, but, this is what we said when we signed Emmanuel Mosley. What we all say? He has an injury-prone history, and injury-prone players continues to be injury-prone, and he blew it. So the Lions will have to go into this draft or free agency and get another guy. They're close. Look, I think we got 7 or 8 draft picks. They can come out of this draft and make this defense and offensive line completely good. Because I think the Lions need to get a guard. They need to get a right guard. Potentially get a center too. And they need to build this defense. I think that's pretty much what. If I'm doing the draft, I'm getting 2 offensive linemen, and the rest is all defense. That's kind of what I'm going with there. We don't need wide receivers. We don't need running backs. We already got Hendon Hooker for a young quarterback, so we don't need a young quarterback. We got a good quarterbacks playing right now. But what you need is you need defensive line and secondary. I think if I'm the draft, that's what I'm doing. Do you think that they'll just let Jared Goff walk at the end of 2024 season? Man, that's a great question, Wolf and Lion. I don't know. If they want to keep him, they can franchise tag him. I don't know. I'd be 50-50 on it because they drafted Hendon Hooker for a reason, right? And if Hendon Hooker develops, that's a young quarterback on a rookie deal. So right now, look, if Jared Goff took us to a Super Bowl, there's no way in hell that they could let Jared Goff walk. There's no way. There's zero chance. I would be upset if that happened. If he wins a playoff game, it almost feels like they couldn't do that just because we haven't done something like that in forever. But at the same time, this organization is fiscally responsible and they do believe in the draft. So man, I couldn't tell you what happens here. $1.99 super chat right there.
Combo breaker.
Are the Bears going to be trouble next year? Yes, they are. Thank you for that super chat, Alan Alos. I know we make fun of the Chicago Bears and that they're the dumpster fire of the NFC North. It's not going to be like that next year. Their defense is really good right now. Okay, and they got 2 picks in the top 10, one being the first overall pick. And if they decide to trade the first overall pick a couple spots down, this team could be something to be reckoned with for a very long time. Because they've drafted well, and now they got a ton of draft picks. So, yeah, I think they're going to be – I think next year they'll be better. In my opinion, they'll be better probably than the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers, in all honesty. That team, their defense is really good. Like, they got one side of the ball done. And all they got to do is a couple weapons on offense, and they could be – I mean, what if they got Marvin Harrison Jr. over there? They'd have 2 number 1 wide receivers. That would be scary, man. I mean, that's just one of their. What if they decide to say, you know what, we're going to draft a quarterback and we're going to trade Justin Fields? We'll get a second round pick for Justin Fields. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get our franchise guy at number 1. And they still got another first round pick. Still, and they probably get 2 seconds for Justin Fields. So yeah, I think they're gonna be scary. It's all about the numbers. Goff needs to show out here in the playoff game, and we have him in for another year. Yep, 100%. I agree with you, Dr. Troy. And that's the great thing is you don't have to make that decision right now, right? You can just kind of just go game by game here. And this is what I've been saying about Jared Goff all year long. It is not up to Brad Holmes. It's not up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to Lions fans. It's not up to Goff haters or Goff slappies. It's all about Jared Goff. If Jared Goff played like he did this past Saturday, and he goes in the playoffs and wins, and we go deep, he got himself a contract. If he plays like he did with all these turnovers, he ain't getting a contract. It's all on Jared Goff. So look, man, like if he wants it, he can get it. If he doesn't want it, he can get that as well. And I always say this, I'm not a fan of players in particular. I'm a fan of the team. I want the team to win. I want everybody to be successful. I want Jared Goff to be successful. I want Will Harris to be successful. I want Charles Harris to be successful. I want Aaron Glenn to be successful. But the problem is, they're not always that case. Will Harris is not successful. Charles is not successful. Aaron Glenn showed a lot better this past week. And if he keeps doing that, I love it. I want this guy. I want him to be great, man. Like, I want all of them to be great. I think that's the way a Lions fan should be. We want these players to be great. Will they? That's up to them. It's not up to us. It's up to them. We want them to be great. I never will root against a player of the Detroit Lions. I want everyone to succeed because I want my team to succeed. Do they all succeed? Absolutely not. And that's why we criticize them. I will praise them when they deserve praise, and I'll criticize them when they deserve criticism. That's the way it should be. I got no bias against these guys. Yes, it's about Goff does. I hope he makes it impossible for us to keep him around because we had an incredible season, 100%. When we made that trade for Jared Goff, I said it's a win-win no matter whatever the outcome is. If Jared Goff turns out to be awesome, well, we got a franchise guy. If he sucks, well, you got draft picks to find a guy. So, like, to me, the Lions won or didn't win the trade. They both won the trade. The Rams did. They got a Super Bowl, and the Lions did because we're a great team now. But it's all on Jared Goff. All Jared Goff. Broderick Martin is a project. I don't think it was worth creating draft picks to get him. Yeah, it was the trading up to get him, I think. Look, if they would have just got him, but you're right. Look, I'm not upset about it because no general manager is going to get every draft pick correct. As long as you do majority good, that's a great. Brad Holmes knows a draft. I'm not going to get, if I criticize Brad Holmes for a pick, that's for that said pick. I mean, I have him as general manager of the year. So look, if I criticize him, and there is things to be criticized, he needs to get better at the edge. He needs to get better, finding talent, the edge rush, 100%. He needs to get better on the interior, 100% of the defensive line. Yeah, still, in my opinion, general manager of the year, but 100% he deserves criticism for not getting some players. But everyone deserves criticism. And when you criticize, it's not ripping the guy. When I was in the Army, you have a thing called after action review. You train all day long. You'll do, 12 different simulations of a certain type of training. I.e., for me, we kick indoors, clear a room. After we do that, we're done doing it. We do an after action review. We sit down. What went good? What went bad? Even if it went perfect, it was the best that we cleared a room. There's always something to criticize about. It's always to get better. So criticism is not really a negative thing. It's how can we get better? Good teams, people who want to be successful, people that are at top of their game, whether it be football or at a job, self-reflect and criticize themselves. How can we be better? Jared Goff criticized himself. When people criticize Jared Goff, I think and people get mad about it, I think it's funny. You should then you should be mad at Jared Goff for criticizing himself. He criticized himself and he critiques himself more than anybody will do. He does it. That's what professionals do. He is a professional. He absolutely knows what he needs to get better at. He knows his strengths. He knows his weaknesses. Don't get upset if people criticize him. Aaron Glenn, I'm sure he criticizes himself. I'm sure he looks in the mirror sometimes. He did it when he changed Ifutu Melifonwu and replacing him with Tracy Walker and Jerry Jacobs with Vildor. He must have finally looked in the mirror and said, this is not working. I was doing it wrong with these guys. I got to make a change. He did it. Awesome. It's what we want, right? That's what we want. Dan Campbell criticizes himself. So, like, people get so upset if you criticize. You better get upset for those coaches and players themselves because they do it. But when you praise, too, you got to praise as well. You can't be just one way. If they do something great, like Jared Goff, 5 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing, high QBR, you got to show them love. You can't say, well, it's because he got lucky. No, that's BS. He played great in that game. Offensive line played great. You know, like, you can show love when a player does well. It's when you have one and you're just stuck on it. You're biased. Well, I hate Jared Goff no matter what he does. He's still terrible. I hate him 24/7. It doesn't matter. He was Super Bowl. He's still trash. Okay, come on. That's being extremely biased. Or if he's having a bad game, he throws 4 interceptions. Oh, it's because the wide receiver ran a wrong route. Oh, it's because he threw 4 interceptions. It's a bad game. Equal. Where have Cam Sutton been? He's playing shutdown football. Hey, look, when you're not hearing about Cameron Sutton, it's a good thing. Great thing. That's what you want to hear from a cornerback. Awesome. Awesome for Cam Sutton. I think he's a good corner. Is he the greatest corner in the NFL? No, I think he's a good corner, but you know, that's what we got him for, right? Maybe we can find a number 1 guy or a really good guy in the draft, or someone opens up in a trade or free agency in the offseason. But he's pretty darn good. People, thanks for hanging out. We'll be live on my channel on Thursday. I'm recording a video with Herman Moore tonight, so you'll see that tomorrow. We'll be recording a video, so get ready for that video. And man, big game on Sunday, not Saturday. Sunday, this Sunday and the next week Saturday. Got those two mixed up. Thanks for whoever corrected me earlier. With that said, folks, adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop.